Hey guys, Johnny here. So we got some news coming out before E3 even begins. So this is the pre-E3 news that I've come across. There's likely to be a lot more coming out in the next couple of days. But this is some of the stuff that got me excited even more so for E3. So let's get started. First off, we have the official name, it looks like, for Mirror's Edge. It's going to be called Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and it's going to be, I believe, for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And it's going to be a complete reboot. It's not going to be a sequel to the first one. It's going to be a complete reboot just because they want to introduce it to a new generation of gamers, it looks like. So either way, reboot or sequel, it doesn't really matter to me. Mirror's Edge, I have it for PS3, and it's one of my favorite games from last generation, just because it was such a breath of fresh air in the kind of monotonous, first person space of games. So I'm a really big fan of the first Mirror's Edge. I can't wait to see some actual gameplay from Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Next, we finally got some news from Devil's Third. We got a full overview trailer, pretty much, featuring shit, Itagaki, featuring Itagaki, talking about the game. It was obviously, I couldn't understand what he was saying, but it was uploaded to, I think, Nintendo Japan's YouTube channel. But it did have some gameplay in there, so we could take a look at how the game's progressed. And it does look a bit better than what we saw last year. It's not like a complete revamp that I thought was happening, since we hadn't seen it for a year. I thought it was going to be like completely different from what we saw the first time. It is still pretty much the same thing. The graphics did get a little bump, but the single player still looks very generic. But I was looking forward to this for the multiplayer, which looked pretty damn fun. And it still looks that way. It looks pretty good. We obviously don't know how popular the game's going to be. So, you know, we don't know if we'll be able to have a good online experience if there's not going to be enough players to play with online. I think it features like 16 player matches or something. It's not like Splatoon, which is 4 on 4, So I don't know how well the game is going to do. In Japan, it looks like it's just going to be an Amazon exclusive. I don't know if that's going to be for the rest of the world, but in Japan, it's going to be an Amazon exclusive if you want it in retail. Otherwise, it's just digital only. I do want a physical copy. I'm more of a that's my collecting side. I like to have the actual physical copies of games. So if it's Amazon exclusive here too, then I'll buy it from Amazon. But yeah, the game looks pretty fun. It looks kind of ridiculous, but the good kind of ridiculous. So I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know if they're gonna give it, a spotlight in the Nintendo digital event. But if they don't, then I hope we see it at least at the Treehouse Live thing. I hope they play some multiplayer matches or something, because I do hope that Nintendo advertises it more than, say, the Wonderful 101 or something. Because that just bombed. Holy shit! Great game though. Next, we have some news on Smash Brothers. It turns out that we're going to have a special Smash Brothers presentation. I think it is on the 14th. Hold on, I don't want to feed you guys false information. Yes, so the presentation is going to be on June 14th. According to Sakurai, he talked about what was going to be in the presentation. It's going to be pretty much about, like, Lucas, who is going to be dropping that very same day, I believe. So Lucas, the Miiverse stage, and the costumes, like Splatoon costumes and stuff that are coming out for Smash Brothers. So it looks like it's just going to be news that we already know of. That he's just going to be detailing it some more. Fuck, what's wrong with my speech today? But it looks like he's just going to be detailing some more news that we already knew about. Of course, there are people speculating, we're going to get like a huge reveal for like Ryu and Roy and stuff like that. But I honestly don't know what to think of it. If it is just news that we already know of and he's just detailing it, then I expect in the digital event to get some bombs dropped regarding, new characters and things like that. They're just getting the smaller stuff out of the way, kind of like what they did with Nintendo Direct Micro and like the Devil's Third overview trailer. Regardless, though, I do like how Nintendo is getting all this smaller stuff out of the way because it makes me think that we're going to get some pretty big news during their digital event. So it makes me even that much more hyped for this presentation. Next up, we have some teases coming out before the show begins. First one being from Retro Studios. So apparently on their Twitter, Retro Studios tweeted, "Can you dig it?" followed by e3.nintendo.com. So they are pretty much just promoting Nintendo's digital event or their E3 as a whole. We don't know if this is actually a tease or not, just because people were saying, oh, they didn't do it last year, but last year Retro Studios didn't have a Twitter, This is the first year they actually have a Twitter, and it could just be them, promoting Nintendo and promoting their E3. But there are some people already starting to speculate what this could mean. What does dig it mean? What could they be? What could they be talking about? They have a new Metroid game with digging mechanics or something. In my predictions video that I made for Nintendo's E3, I talked about Retro Studios briefly, and I mentioned that Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze just dropped last year in 2014. I believe it was February. So I honestly don't think they would be ready to show off a new game, unless maybe if it's like Donkey Kong Country 3 and they already have the engine ready to go, and they basically like how Nintendo did it with Super Mario Galaxy to Super Mario Galaxy 2, they just the rest of the ideas that they had for the game, they ended up making a second game with it, and it came out within the Wii's lifespan pretty quickly. So if it's a case like that, then maybe yeah, I could see it happening, and I wouldn't be at all sad about it, because I'm gonna be honest. When Tropical Freeze first was announced, I wasn't angry. I was just disappointed because I was expecting Metroid, as a lot of people were, But I was disappointed with the announcement. But after actually playing Tropical Freeze, it is one of my favorite platformers ever. So if it's a Donkey Kong Country Returns 3, then I wouldn't be mad about it at all. I would be excited for it. But there are people thinking it's Metroid, or it could be a new IP. Who knows? We will see at the show. But it is, either way, it is exciting. They also tweeted something else where I think somebody tweeted to them, "Will we see your new game at E3?" And they responded with that picture of Reggie going like, we don't know, So that could be another tease for them actually having a presence during the digital event. So we can only hope, guys. We can only hope. And finally, we have a tease from IGN regarding Platinum Games. So this is actually confirmed. IGN is going to be revealing a new game from Platinum Games. Just so you guys know, it's unannounced, so it's not scale bound or anything like that. It's an unannounced Platinum Games game being revealed at IGN. This is on the 14th, I believe. Hold on, let me check. So it says here, tune in to IGN at 3 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesday, June 16th, for an extended look at gameplay from a new game from the Japanese studio that brought us Beautiful Joe and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. So June 16th, I believe that's the same day as the Nintendo digital event. So could it be connected? Who knows? At first I thought it was going to be Metal Gear Rising 2, just because I believe that was teased earlier this year. So it seemed like the most likely announcement that they could have for this E3 that we haven't seen revealed yet. But Yusuke Hashimoto, is that how you I hope I'm not butchering that name, but he's a director at Platinum Games, and he retweeted Nintendo's E3 2015, their digital event. So some are taking this as a sign that it could mean that their game is going to be displayed during the digital event, maybe like a trailer or something, and then it's going to have the full reveal later that day on IGN with gameplay and everything. If that's the case, I don't think that would be too far-fetched, because I believe that's what happened with the Wonderful 101. It wasn't even a part of Nintendo's conference that year, but it was revealed. I don't know if it was game trailers or where was it? I don't know, but it was revealed later on that day, and people were saying, why wasn't this part of the digital event, So a lot of people were angry about that. But if this is a sign, I mean, Hashimoto retweets all kinds of stuff, There's people, some people forget that people who have Twitter, you know, they're real people. They're not just, you know, teasing stuff all the time. They might just retweet stuff that that they like or they want to see. Like it could just mean that he's a fan of Nintendo and he wants to see the digital event. Who knows? But if it is a tease for a game for a Nintendo console again, I cannot wait because I've already loved their two Wii U exclusives, the Wonderful 101 and Bayonetta 2. So I cannot wait to see. Doesn't matter what system is on. I just want to see a new Platinum Games game revealed. Anyway, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to discuss in this video, guys. There's probably going to be a fair bit more of news before E3 even begins. So if that's the case, then I'll make another video with more stuff. But for now, this is the stuff that has me super excited for E3 right now. I cannot wait to see some of this stuff. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.